Hi, welcome back to Miranda's Cauldron. I write young adult, urban, paranormal fantasy because I have witches and elementals. And on the writing news, if you were on a double down day yesterday, you would have known that I actually finished another round. Yes, another round, but it will be my final round of edits for Lear. It is about 61,000 words. And this week I'm going to do the whole KDP once again because I've had changes since the last time I upped it. And so I was pretty excited with that. I was finished in April, but then I had a brainstorm. I want to put chapters titles. So I read through and found some really cool phrases, a couple words here and there to add for my chapter titles. So I did that. And of course, when I read it through again, I found some more little mistakes. Nothing major, just a few. And then I had another brainstorm that instead of going through, like for Lear, it is at a camp school setting. And I have them grouped in ages. So the 12 and 13s, and the 14 and 15s, and 16 and 17s, and the 16 and 17-year-old group is my main group. The other ones are all mentioned. I have all my kids named. So I decided, since I already had a cool name for the oldest group, I use Shays. They're kind of like the camp counselors. They're seniors. They kind of look after, keep an eye on the younger kids because like the youngest is 12. And it's like a boarding school. It's all year round, but it's at a camp setting with my elementals. And then I thought, hey, it would be really cool if I name my groups as well. And I'm looking for the list. Here I go. So I have the oldest has Shays. The 16 and 17-year-olds I named Syndra's. The 14 and 15-year-olds I use Lindra. And for the 12 and 13-year-olds, I use Saphra's. I was kind of thinking maybe I should change Shays so it can maybe something with the end in the RA. But I thought no. Shays was Shays from the beginning, so I kept it. So yeah, so now I get to do the next step to upload for my very first proof copy. If you're kind of a newcomer, first-time author, finished a book, and you've heard about proof copies, check out Mama Maggie's YouTube channel. I'll add a link later because she has a walkthrough for your proof copy through KDP. So I'm going to be using that and getting my very first proof copy. Yes, my book will be in my hand before the end of the year. I'm kind of hoping maybe the end of the month, see how long it goes, but we'll see. So in honor of the full moon, I will do some tarot cards at the next break. But right now, I'm going to start off with animal spirit cards. If you're familiar with my sprints, I tend to draw animal spirit, my runes and familiars, moonology, tarot, and sometimes even my runes. Actually, if I ever drawn actual runes at a writing sprint, I don't think I have. So I'm going to have to do that. And I also have a deck of stones that I got with the gift card from my dad years ago. Okay. We're going to shuffle, then I'm going to pick a card, and the card is the dolphin. I don't believe I've drawn a dolphin yet. Let's see what the card says. And what's really neat with these cards is the little triangle. It's a water. Of course it's a water. It's a dolphin. So it has the earth, air, fire, water. And it also has the spirit. And the spirit are like unique mythology type cards, like a black serpent and a black egg, golden egg, the dragon. What other cool animals? A sea serpent, things like that. So I'm going to go to the water section and find the dolphin. And one thing I don't like about this deck, well, not so much the deck, the book, is the actual animals are not in alphabetical order within each section. So you got to leaf through to see where it is. Here we go. The dolphin. Intelligent, healer, light, blessings. When in balance, active healer, strong spiritual practice. When out of balance, underestimate own power. To bring into balance like-minded spirits. Okay, so that is the first card for today. Let's see who's here in the chat. By the little eye that's watching, says there's 3, which is amazing. I love it when there's even like one person, because that means one person is watching. So I'm not like talking into the void, even though I kind of am because I don't see anyone, but that's okay. Let's see. We have Carla. You're on fire, Miranda. Good job. Thank you. And Carla, she writes with the Heart Readings Writing Community. I see her at practically every sprint I'm at, which is always nice to see familiar faces. And you're on fire. Oh my goodness. All the books that you've written and published and all that writerly things. So I'm going to start with a first 20-minute timer. I, for one, will be using this, at least the first couple of sprint sessions, for reflections from my HB90. I love this planning system. July was a little crazy for me, so I was behind on the weekly reflections, and same with when it came to the end of the month. I think it was like practically the middle of August before I finished that. Seems to be a recurring thing for me this time around, because for the weekly reflections questions, I think the last ones I did was the first weekend of August, so I have a lot to do with that. So I am going to be doing that during the first couple of sprints, and then hopefully get into this week, the current week, for my task blocks, because it's been a couple of days since I've done that. So I am going to bring up the kitty timer and start our first short 20-minute sprint. And then after our chat with Tarot, I will bring it up to 30 minutes. Share the screen. And I will see you in 20 minutes. How'd you do? I almost got the first week done of my questions. I have 2 more to do. Maybe tomorrow during my next live stream that I normally do on Mondays. I still have to do my thumbnail, but I am planning on streaming again tomorrow at noon Eastern, which is normally the time when I set up the following week, or I guess it should be the current week. So after my live streams, I will set up the thumbnail for that. How did everybody do? I am shuffling the Witch's Tarot, and I'm going to draw a couple cards. I think I will draw 2. We've got update from Carla. Let's see. Reviewed the first few chapters of this shifter and moving on to the next chapter. I'm going to have to revise the first one as it is going to be a 4-book interrelated series, which is unexpected. Ooh. That is interesting. As well as, I guess it's a good thing that truck took down the wire outside our complex the other day that kept me from publishing. Oh, so you were going to publish it? There was problems, and then you found out that you had some, I don't want to say mistakes, but you had some things you wanted to fix. Yeah, I can only imagine. But I am glad personally that I didn't send my book off to be proof copy when I wanted to back in June. Because when I finished it in April and May, I was so ready for it. And then I was told that it take a couple of weeks for my proof copy to arrive, or 6 weeks. If it was 6 weeks, that'd be perfect because I'd be back home from visiting my daughter. And then I would be able to pick up my book because we don't have house delivery with Amazon. Anything we order from Amazon goes to the post office. And, well, I didn't want my husband to pick up my book because I am going to open it up, not him. Okay, they were going to be standalones, but I realized that they need to be 4 or 5 spokes of the wheel with the central conflict. Oh, I think you were talking about it yesterday at Sprints. That is cool. Or maybe this morning at Mel's. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know if you're familiar, but she's another indie author. I think she's indie. Yeah. Christine Pope. She, like her series, the first 3 books are 3 or 4 books are based on one couple in this town. They're all with witches and magic. And then there's also another series with jinns and the end of the world type thing. And then you meet all the characters. And then in the next book, she carries on in the same world with a new couple. And it goes from there, which is really cool. And you get to see the other characters from previous books as kind of side characters, which I thought was always fun. And she has her main series, and then it's with the main characters, and then she went forward in time when her daughter, like her children, were adults, which was a really fun series. And you get to see their grown up kids getting married and coming into their power and all this. And then you get to see the main character every once in a while has side characters, which is always fun. I prefer personally the whole series. I could write a few standalones, but if I have a choice, it's a series, which is similar to movies or TV series. I would much rather watch a TV series than a movie. It's over in like 2 hours. So the next sprint, I'm going to change the kitty to 30 minutes because there's no one after me through the heart breathing's writing community for today because Tracy has decided to take the day off. So I'm going to be hopefully sprinting for 3 hours. So this sprint, I'm going to move it to 30 minutes. And then the one after, because it seems to be quite popular, is a longer sprint. Like a lot of them do like 45s or 50s. So I'm going to do a 31. And then when this is over, then I'll do a 45. So see you in 30 minutes. Oh, I forgot to do my tarot. I guess the kitty kind of interrupted me. So I'm going to go back in and actually draw those cards. And why isn't it popping up? There we go. Is that the Tiger series? No, it's The Witches on Cleopatra Hill. And when her kids are growing up, it is on Cedar Canyon Road, I think. And she also did a sci-fi series with aliens. And I personally am not a fan of those kind of books, but she wrote it. So I'm like, hey, I am going to read it. And it's so, so good. So I almost forgot that this is not a normal writing sprint. This is a tarot for full moon. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. I'm going to draw this one kind of in the center, and then I'll draw another one and put those cards away. And the first one is the Magician. I don't know if you can even see that. That's the Magician. And the next one is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups, I do remember because this is a fun one. It's all about your choices. And in this deck, there's 7 cups, goblets, and it has different images in it. And the whole idea for this deck is to pick one. So we have, I'm not sure what this is. Maybe a mermaid? Something like that. A cat, a castle. Oh, the other one's a mermaid. A coin, a butterfly, rainbow, and I have to check which is in that other one. 7 of Cups. And of course, Cups is with emotions. Okay. It is a red dragon. Okay, yeah. That does look like a dragon. I was looking at it upside down. Well, I thought the head was a tail. So, many wonderful choices lie before you. This is a card of dreams, symbols, and signs. The red dragon represents the power of transformation. The black kitten grants you the opportunity to work more closely with the animal kingdom. Well, I guess that's why I might have spent a good 20 minutes or so after I fed my outside kitties and just sitting on the deck and getting kitty snuggles. Even with a couple of black kittens. The 3rd cup, Fairy Tale Castle, offers you the chance of stability, comfort, and the magic of home. The 4th one shows a rainbow. Time to work on your communication skills and see what message awaits for you. The 5th holds jewels and gold coins, inviting you to dig in and work magic with the element of earth. Focus on crystals, stones, minerals, and metals. If you can only see my desk, I have lots of rocks and crystals on it. And I usually wear one every day. The 6th has a tiny mermaid who invites you deeper into the realm of the element of water. Embrace your psychic gifts and emotions and see where it leads you. The final cup, butterflies, beckons you to the element of air. sharpen your intellect, hone your instincts, and pay attention to your tuition. That was the Seven of Cups. Then we will do the Magician. Magician, without looking it up, to me is balance and using all of your inner power as well as the elements around you. But let's see what the card says. And of course, it's number 1, right after the Fool. So it's the beginning of your journey. It is a message to tap into your own magic to find the answers you seek. That is one card I do remember. And work in balance with the elements and the power of nature. Interesting. In the series that the first book I just finished is to do with the elements. Actually, come to think of it, my second series, which is The Soulless, is also with elements because the witches in that series have control over the elements and the main character with fire. And the main character for Lear, she also has the power over the fire. And they have to work in balance. So that is that card. And now we will start into our 30-minute sprint. And when we come back from our 30-minute sprint, I will either do a Moonology card, or if anyone here wants to have a card drawn for them, I will do that. I have a few different decks, and I will put it down into the comments. So for now, see you in 30 minutes. Okay, why is this not starting? Very weird. It's like it froze. What is happening here? Well, just there we go. See you in 30. And that was the end of that 30-minute sprint. I almost finished the second week. At the What Was My Mood? I don't remember. That was back in August 11th to the 17th. But usually my mood's pretty well the same if I'm writing and just home alone. A little stressed if hubby is doing just his thing. He likes to push the buttons just like a little child. But it is what it is. I don't see anybody doing any requests, so we can leave it up for the remaining of the sprints. I will draw a Moonology card though. And we're going to use the dark. I just love that tapestry, but I wish it would just stay behind my chair. So I'm going to use this deck. And how is everybody doing on their sprints, their progress of whatever they're working on? Is it revising, drafting, rewrites? And I totally agree. Moonology does seem appropriate for today. And if you're lucky enough, there's also a lunar eclipse. I'm not sure if it was last night or tonight. I think it's overnight. And I also found some interesting tidbits on Facebook about the full moon. September 7th. Whoa. One of the most powerful full moons of 2025. A time for endings, rebirth, and transformation. Let go of what no longer serves you and step into your highest path. Interesting. And what else do I have that I picked up that I could share? And another one, I've picked these up on Facebook. September 7th to the 8th, total lunar eclipse. The moon will drift into Earth's shadow and glow a stunning deep red. Because it occurs just after perigee, when the Earth is closest to the Earth, it will appear slightly larger and brighter than usual, making this blood moon even more breathtaking. I do remember seeing a map where you could see the eclipse, and most of it is over on like Europe, Asia, over there. So probably won't see it in North America. Oh, here we have it. Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. Yeah, so I guess we won't be able to see it, but that's okay. We've seen it. We've seen them. I did notice when I was outside last night, when I fed the cats a little bit later than I usually do, because, well, it was double down day, and Jenna put in an extra hour. So, yeah, I finished later. But anyhow, I went out and fed the cats, and the moon was just amazing. Like, if my phone camera would take decent pictures, it would be amazing. Okay, we've got a major rainstorm last night. So I put out a jar to collect water. Guess who found the one part of the deck that didn't get a lot of water because the way the trees block things? Oh no, only got maybe a quarter inch. That's something I've never done. I may just have to try that next full moon. And being here in the middle of October, it could be snow. Oh gosh, I hope not. I am not ready for winter. So not ready. Okay, so here is the Moonology card. And when the kitty goes, it's just going to go into another 30 minutes. At least it should. Yes, it does. So when we're done chatting, then I will change it to the 40 minutes. Because, like I said earlier, a lot of people are really liking the 40 to 50-minute sprints. I like the 30, but I think it'll be kind of fun to do the 20, 30, 40. I did that on Monday, and that was fun. No, I did on Tuesday because I sprinted the same time, and Diane wasn't at noon Eastern. Diane wasn't sprinting, so I just threw in another hour. And here we have another full moon. Full moon in Pisces. Balance spirituality and practicality. There we go. And let's see what the book says. Full moon in Pisces. Oh, here we go. Meditate every day and see what comes to you. Others will come. You're super romantic, but not super realistic. Follow your intuition, it won't let you down. At worst, this card can herald the end of a dream. Oh, wow. Okay, that is kind of interesting because my childhood dream since forever has been to write a book and publish it. And I'm ready to publish, well, not really publish, but hold the book in my hand. Okay, so that is the end of that little chat break. I'm going to bring up the kitty and change it to 40 minutes. And then we will get together in 40 minutes for a little update. See you in 40. How'd you do? I got another week done. I really like that I can't go online when I'm streaming. I don't know why. Even if I use a Word document, it's very, very slow. And some people will say, well, probably because you live out in the country. Well, that could be true, but I can literally see the internet tower from my house. I'm up on a hill, and the stuff, it's not really a tower, it's just a device, I suppose. It's on the old grain elevator. So I can literally see it. So I don't know. Maybe it is still, it's obviously whatever my internet is like, because I can't even go, like, I can't stream hop if I have two live writing streams open at the same time. One or both always freezes. But I can have a writing sprint and a YouTube video playing music. I don't know. It's just weird. So I've decided for my last few sprints, since I am going to be going an extra hour because Tracy's not on or anyone that I sprint with. So I'm like, I'm just going to go an extra hour. So anyhow, so I am now color coding my planner from what I actually worked on for my goals. Each of my goals is color coded. Just in case you want to know. This is for writing. This is for self-care, because that's one of the reasons why I signed up for HB90, was so I can show the balance between writing, self-care, and home. Because quite often I would either watch way too much TV, play on my phone, do nothing productive for like days at a time. Or I would just spend literally all day working on whatever writing project I'm working on. So it helps. And then I decided I'm going to color code it in just little dots so I can see at a glance at my planner where I spent all my time. So that's always fun. And we've got somebody new popping. Hello, Greg Inc. writes. Greg, hello and welcome. Carla has finished this chapter. They are now bonded, even though he's a dragon shifter and she's a human. Duh, duh, duh. Or is she? Dragon shifters are seen to be pretty popular now. Yeah, very popular. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes left. If you haven't been up and stretching, because we've been together for 2 hours, and if you are hardy, then there's a good chance you might have been with Mel early this morning. So if you haven't gotten up and stretched, I did a little bit of walk on the main floor during the end of that last sprint. And then I think I'm gonna go downstairs and get some fresh water, maybe even some apple juice, because I've already had 2 cups of coffee this morning, so I don't really want to have another cup of coffee, and I feel like having something different. Oh, my eye is itchy. Jenna has been lurking around while doing chores. Thank you for popping in and lurking. The little eye is so neat because you get to see how many people are here. We don't really. It doesn't matter if anyone talks. If you let us know what you're doing, but it's always fun to know that you're just lurking. Because right now it says 4, and thank you for taking the like button. And hello to Jenna from Carla. So I'm going to bring the next sprint down to 30 minutes. And then the next sprint, the next chat, I will draw another Moonology card. And I might even do a tarot card. We'll have to see. Oh, and there's another. I will make my second cup of coffee of the day as soon as the sprint starts. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go into the kitty timer, change it to 30 minutes, and then I'll see you in 30. And that's the end of that 30-minute sprint. How did everybody do? I ended up going in and color coding on my task box from this current week, since my weeks begin on Mondays, because I keep the weekends together. And I got my last 3 days figured out for task blocks. So just as a little reminder, if you are alumni from the HB90 planning course with Sarah Cannon, the kickoff is on Sunday. And if you haven't signed up, check out her website. It's an amazing course. And I'm kind of ready for Q3 to be over. It's not like it was a bad quarter. I'm just looking forward to the cooler months. And my next step to get Lear in my hands, and my charger was going away from me. I need to charge my phone before it dies. And so I got all my quarters all done for the next sprint. It's only going to be for 20 minutes because that was her 30. But I will probably go back and do that last week of reflections. And then I can start my monthly. I just can't be the only one that's sometimes struggling with those questions. I don't know why I put it off. It might be connected with the why I don't journal as much as I used to. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And yes, the ice cream sandwich was good. It was a mini one. First time my husband brought them home, I opened up the box and I'm like, okay, this is like half the size of a regular one. Like, what is wrong with today? Then I looked at the box. It actually said mini. So that explains why it was only half the size. Jenna says, Q3 has been amazing. Looking forward to all the changes of Q4. Hopefully things start going as planned for all of us. Yes. I have discovered this is only going to be coming up my complete second year of using HB90, because I started it at the end of the year. So I started fresh January. It'll be 2 years in January. And I have noticed that pretty much my goals have been the same. I have a writing goal. I have my self-care goal. When I started, my first big goal was to clean and declutter the house. Well, that only lasted the first quarter, because if I have a choice between vacuuming or cleaning the stove, the fridge, all the horrible, in my opinion, horrible house chores, I'd rather write. Or if I'm taking a long time writing and it hurts your brain, and do I really want to clean the house? No. So I quickly just put that into just regular home stuff. And then this year, because it was beginning of the year, I think it was, I decided to have writing task adjacent, because I took Sarah's Publish and Thrive course a year ago, a little over a year ago, because it was like last August. But anyhow, the mastermind group, we do critiques and we meet every week. So, and I really want to watch some of Sarah's writing videos. So I created a new goal for me, which was, I called it Writing Academy. That wasn't too bad. Not bad at all. And then I also have my home. So anything home related. I did have under my recurring tasks when we went to town and we went to the doctors and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, it didn't really go after the first year. So I put it into when I went to town and we do the doctors and all that stuff, home stuff, instead of self-care. So I just basically use self-care as outside time, weather permitting, TV watching, coloring, journaling, reading, just doing nothing. So it's been working out pretty good. So I'm thinking for the next round, next quarter, I'm probably going to keep them the same. Like every year, my writing goals have been kind of changed a little bit, but I still have two major projects going on. So yeah, that was my little spiel for 5 minutes. Carla, Q4 is coming. We'll see what it brings. Hopefully, it will bring people to my books. That's a good idea. Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way because for September, hopefully before the end of the month, I'll at least have my proof copy sent away. So I will receive that in October, which was really great. And back with a little tidbit of the My Critique group, Publish and Thrive Mastermind. We were talking about newsletters. There's three of us in my group, and one of us has published and does her own newsletter. Well, me and the other girl and I, we're not really ready. We haven't published, so we weren't really ready for doing a newsletter. And being at so many writing sprints, some people don't really like doing the newsletters. Some of them do. I did subscribe to a few Hardy's newsletters, and they're pretty good. So I'm thinking of maybe doing my own newsletter. Maybe ideally, if I can start it for Halloween, because that's when I started my YouTube channel. But we'll see if I'm ready to do the whole newsletter commitment, even though it's only going to be like probably once a month. Because I can't even commit to social media and Instagram. So we'll see. Okay, so I chatted long enough. I'm going to change the kitty timer to 20 minutes. And this will be the final sprint with me. If you need other spreading sprints, and if you're hardy, go to one of those replays. And we have some chatter. Jenna, I wish I had done my newsletter before publishing. Then again, I kind of published to a completely cold audience without anyone to read, even as authors. The first time book came out, to be fair. And Carla's is in Substack. I've heard of Substack. I think I may just have to check that out. I might have to do that. But then I don't think I'm really ready for that. So I may have to do it, launch it in January 2026, new year, new me, all that fun stuff. So I'm going to bring up the kitty for a 20-minute cool down. So 20. And I will be sprinting tomorrow. I will be doing up all the fun stuff for the thumbnail and all that after I take a little bit of a break. I'm thinking it'll probably be tomorrow at the same time, so noon Eastern. So just a heads up. And the next person to stream on behalf of the Heart Breathings Writing community, usually Monday morning, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, early morning. I think it's like 7 or 8 Eastern is usually Kay. And Jody Jean is back for her writing sprints tomorrow night. So we'll see you in 20 minutes. And that is it. There's no more sprints with me. It was an amazing 3 hours. Thank you so much for keeping me company. I got all of the weekly reflection questions done for the month of August. I still have to do the month end, but that's not a today problem. That is a tomorrow problem. And now I'm only a week behind. So it's not too bad. Because it is the full moon, I am going to draw one more card, the Monology card. This one's the Oracle deck. But before I do that, let's take off the timer because, well, we don't need that anymore. Okay. Let's go back and see what any comments. Carla has got some magnetic tape, so she's going to make bookmarks. Jenna says that's a good idea. Jenna is ordering for her next book show. She does live events. And by the sounds of it, you can not just get her books from her live events, but swag. I still need to realize I have to learn to use the Cricut now looking at prices. Ooh. The library had the Cricut machine once we have these creative boxes. Well, let's just say it was rather difficult. You need some experience before you go do that. Greg got quite a lot done today. Thanks for the sprints. Thanks for popping in. Hope to see you again soon. I'm going to I'm going to shuffle the cards. And let's pick this one. Oh, interesting. It's not a full moon or any kind of moon. Well, I guess it might be. The North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. Again, a reminder for me to do something different. In these live streams, there was no way I would have done that like 3 years ago. No, not going to happen. And for having YouTube being around in the world for so long, it wasn't for the Heart Breathings writing community and their writing sprints. One, I probably wouldn't have gotten so much done in my books because the writing sprints for me and for others have been like a game changer. I definitely would not have been chatting away for the last 3 hours in hosting if it wasn't for the hosts that I go to, like Jenna and all those who I write with. You're all encouraging for me to do something that's different. And I'll tell you one thing, doing my own newsletter, that's so out of my comfort zone. So far out. So I don't know if I'm really going to be ready for that yet. But unlike live streams, you don't have to talk to people. You just have to write it all out. So I will see you guys all later. Thanks again for popping in. And I hope to see you all tomorrow at noon. I will have to do my thumbnail for that. And if not, I will see you at other people's streams. And have a great rest of your day. Bye for now. And thank you so much for coming, Carla and Greg and Jenna and all the others who are just lurking because they don't want to talk. That's okay. Not a problem. See you later. Guess you're